Cold outbound, it's dead. Email deliverability rates are plummeting, spam is on the rise. AI is commoditizing the crap out of prospecting and messaging, and there's so much outbound spam happening that people just ignore it. They get blindness to it, and they just delete all your emails, they ignore all your calls, they ignore all your DMs. And this is only the beginning. AI hasn't even scratched the surface. Imagine what's gonna happen when everyone is using AI tools to just bombard messages over and over again. But there's a new way to do outbound, and in this video, I'm gonna teach it to you. Now, I get it. Outbound is reliable. It's something that you can build a baseline around and forecast on. And it works. And I put works in parentheses because y'all think 1 out of a million people is a success rate when it's really not. And inbound is unreliable, it's up and down. I get it. But what if we combine the powers of marketing and sales? We take the predictability of sales and we combine it with the power and the warmth of marketing. And this is what I call warm outbound. So what is warm outbound? Well, I define it as something of value that you dangle in front of prospects to get them to come to you, to raise their hand as interested and give you permission to contact them. And then you just deploy your traditional sales, BDRs, STRs to get in touch with them and engage with them. And then they're in the sales process. So instead of spraying and praying, we're giving away something of value to bring them to us, to get them to basically opt in for us to contact them and start a sales conversation. So generally speaking, we can do this by offering a really valuable piece of content in exchange for their hand to go up. And stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to show you real examples of how we're doing this right now. So when we talk about cold outbound versus warm outbound, with cold outbound, you build a list of targeted prospects and you contact them. But with warm outbound, prospects put themselves on your list. It's not full permission based like traditional marketing where you get somebody to actually opt in, but we're getting them to meet us halfway. Warm outbound is literally the crossroads between marketing and sales. It sits right in between the middle. And with cold outbound, when after you build this list, you got to send a million messages, annoy the crap out of people. And in turn, it ends up burning out your sales team because nobody likes to call on people or message people that are telling them to F off every other response. But with warm outbound, people are actually interested and they want to engage with you because they're literally putting their hand up and saying, hey, send me more information on this. So cold outbound, you got to spray and pray. You got to send thousands and thousands of messages or calls just to get in touch with one person. But with warm outbound, you only contact the people that want to be contacted. There's no annoying, there's no spraying and praying, very targeted one-on-one communications. With cold outbound, people always tell me, well, we do it because it works, because 1 out of 1,000 people ends up becoming a lead. Like a 1% success rate, if not less. With warm outbound, our data shows that 30% of people that raise their hand actually end up in a sales conversation with our sales team. So let's get into a few examples of how we're actually doing warm outbound campaigns right now. So example number 1 is what I call the honeypot post on social media. I like to use LinkedIn, but you can use Facebook or X, wherever you're following is the biggest. And here's an example of one, got over 500,000 impressions. And this is the honeypot approach. We said 6 agency sales templates, battle tested, I'm giving them away all for free, listed out the 6 templates. And then LinkedIn will let me drop all the links in here. So drop me a comment and I will DM them to you. Look at the amount of comments it's generated. 3,600 comments generated. You can just see all the people that are commenting, interested, yes, please, send it to me, can you share it with me, etc. So what I do after this is I have somebody on our inside sales team, a BDR, go through from my account and just literally send them the message. So that BDR sends them a message and then they make them offers directly here. So this one specifically is for the Blueprint training. We have a monthly membership fee that we sell for $199. So we're getting them interested in what we're sending. And that's what that post was all about. It was 6 agency templates, right? So it's something that's relevant to our offer. We then send it to them and then we send them follow-up messages. We engage with them, we ask them questions and we try and broker conversation. So it's much more conversational selling in the DMs and the messages. These people are telling us that 1, they're in market, and 2, that they're interested in what we're selling because we're giving them something for free. Now, of course, there is a gap that you have to bridge between the templates and actually having a sales conversation, but that's what your sales team is for. To be a human, to be authentic, and to go back and forth and actually try and help them and ask them questions about their business. The same type of stuff that you would ask on a sales call, you just do there. So if you want to book them on a sales call, you just have that conversation to book them on a sales call later. If you have a lower ticket offer like we do here, we just have that conversation and try and close them actually in the DMs, which works incredibly well for us. So imagine instead of going out and having to contact hundreds of thousands of agencies to get them interested, we do this very simple post on LinkedIn. We generated over 3,000 comments. That's over 3,000 conversations that we had. And we ended up booking over $25,000 a month in recurring revenue off that single post alone. Pretty nuts if you think about it. So warm outbound tactic number 2 is what we call the VSL funnel, or really any sort of paid traffic funnel. And this is not new. You probably remember this from old school software campaigns where they would run a webinar, they would get you to opt into the webinar, and then they would call you up. This stuff still works. But instead of doing it for a webinar, we like to do it off of what we call a VSL, or a video sales letter. Now, VSL is an 8 to 12 minute video that is highly driven towards solving a very specific problem that your audience has. So for example, our agency, we specialize in working with law firms. They struggle to generate leads, so we put together an 8 to 12 minute video that teaches them how to get leads right now. We run a lot of Facebook ads and YouTube ads driven to this landing page here. Basically just outlines what they're going to get access to inside the video, and then we just get their name and their work email here. Now, after they opt in, they get redirected to this thank you page that has the video here that shows them exactly how to solve the problem, and then a link below to book a call right away. So a lot of times what happens is they opt in, they watch the video, and they book a call right away. Now, what we'll also do when we come in here to ClickFunnels, which is the platform that we use, is we have their email address. And what we have our sales team doing is going through and we look for email addresses that are attached to a domain. We'll take that domain, we'll look it up, we'll find their contact information, and then we'll reach out to them. We'll give them a call and say, hey, we just saw that you opted in to watch our video around lead generation for law firms. Did you have any questions? Is there anything that we can help with? Or we can do that over email, we can do that over text message. We just need to find their contact information. I like to use this plugin called Email Hunter. It allows us to pull through all the different emails that are associated with the domain. We can attach it to the person who actually opted in as well. So I love this strategy too, because this is going after a very specific problem that has a little bit more teeth. In the first example I showed you, we're giving away free templates. Everyone wants free templates, but when they opt into a video like this, they're opting in and saying, I'm having a problem with lead generation. So that gives us something to connect with them very specifically on when we call them or email them up. And yes, these people are also getting automatic email follow-ups after they opt in, but very rarely do people take action off of email follow-ups. If you have a sales team or an SDR, you get them to take action, you get them to contact them. It's much more effective when they're getting an actual phone call, especially in the law firm space. These guys are busy. They're not always going to book a call. They're not always going to watch the video, but it doesn't matter because they're telling us that they have this problem by opting in. Hence the warm outbound, which then allows us to meet them and go bring them over the finish line to become a lead. So tactic number 3 that we use in warm outbound is inside of our Facebook group. Now this is like master level stuff. I started with the easiest one, posting on social media. Then we moved up to paid traffic funnels. And now we're moving up to building a community, because once you have a community and an audience of people, this is where it becomes the easiest. So what we do is we use paid traffic funnels to drive people into a Facebook group. So for law firms, we have a group that is for law firms that helps out with marketing, business development, all sorts of different stuff. Now for the blueprint training, we have a group for agencies. And what we're doing is on every single one of our thank you pages for our paid traffic, we're giving them the option to join our free Facebook group where we give away free content, do live events, etc. And when you actually come inside a Facebook group, you'll see these honeypot posts all over the place. So it's essentially taking what we were doing on LinkedIn and putting it inside of our group, but it's even more effective because these people have a much higher awareness of who we are. They've opted in to see our stuff before, they've opted in to see our group. They want to see more of our content. So what we do is twice a month, we do a live event, and we'll do a long form post here that sells the live event, sells the importance of it, and then prompts them to make a comment below if they're interested. So if they're not a paying member and they want access, we're going to give it to them for free. Just comment ready. And you can see all the people here commenting ready. And then Trigana, who is our inside sales rep, she sends them a DM with information and brokers a conversation. She says, hey, what do you know about the blueprint training? Are you interested in learning more? Happy to have you join this live event, but have you thought about maybe joining the program? It's only $199 and you get access to all this content for free. And then she sends them all the upcoming content that we have, and she basically tries to sell them over DM. So this approach, if you have a community, is by far the most effective because these people are hyper aware and they're already down mid-bottom funnel. We just want to push them over the edge with these warm tactics to get them over the edge. So that's it. I know it's a big change for a lot of you sales reps out there. I've worked with a lot of sales companies to try and help them to implement this because this is where marketing and sales meet. If you can do these two things together, this is where explosive results happen because you're able to still take very aggressive and traditional sales tactics, but when you marry them with marketing, which brings people to you, big things happen, explosive things happen. You don't have to annoy people. You don't have to burn out lists. You don't have to burn and churn down domains. You don't have to burn through sales reps. You're literally bringing people to you through marketing and value and then bring them over the finish line with sales. It is literally the perfect symbiotic relationship for any company that runs on a sales model. And you can see I showed you a high ticket model, which is our agency, Webris, which is a call booking model, and our low ticket model, which is the blueprint training for $200 a month. So you can see it works for kind of any business model and anything in between. So if you have any questions, please drop me a comment below. If not, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.